Only 2 more games left, guys. Thankfully, the Chicago Bears will be taking on the New York Giants this Sunday at Soldier Field. Who's going to win this matchup? Watch this video to find out. What's going on, guys? I'm back with the Chicago Bears prediction videos, which I'll be doing every single week this year. You know, this year and future years as well. I know this year is almost over, but if you guys want more Bears content in the future, definitely be sure to subscribe to this channel. Happy New Year's Eve, guys. I'm recording this on New Year's Eve. If you're watching this on New Year's Day, then Happy New Year to you guys. I hope 2022 is a great year for all of you in terms of sports and your life. I know 2021 sucked for a lot of reasons. You know, COVID's still going on. The Bears sucking, but I got a good feeling about 2022, guys. I think the Bears are going to make a lot of changes, which I'll talk about in the upcoming days and weeks, okay, after we fire, hopefully, Matt Nagy in a few weeks after we make some changes. There's a lot of stuff I want to see the Bears do, and I think the Bears will do, that will lead to a successful 2022 and beyond. But right now, it's still 2021. We're still, you know, watching this current Bears team, and this current Bears team is not really that good. For that reason, guys, this video is going to be pretty short. It won't be a very long and in-depth prediction video because there just isn't a lot of interest in these videos anymore, which I totally, you know, I understand, guys. Okay, the Bears are going nowhere this year. A lot of people don't care about this current team anymore. You guys are watching simply to see the rookies ball out, to see, you know, some guys like Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn. You know, Robert Quinn is close to breaking the sack record for the Chicago Bears, the individual season sack record. So you're watching for reasons like that, but you're not really watching to see the Bears win per se, because it doesn't really matter at this point, which I totally feel you guys. I'm not going to take up too much of your time in this video, so let me just get into it. We're taking on the New York Giants this week, and the Giants have been a horrible team for the majority of this year, okay? They're pretty much as bad as we have been, probably even worse, and they do have a first-round pick this upcoming year because you remember in that trade with the Giants last draft to go up and get Fields, we gave them our first-round pick, so they are going to have presumably 2 top 10, not presumably, like guaranteed to have 2 top 10 picks at this point, which is pretty good for their future. But this current Giants team is really freaking bad. Talking about their offense, first of all, they rank number 30 in yards per game, the number 30 in points per game, they're the number 29 passing offense, the number 27 rushing offense, and they're likely going to have either Mike Glennon or Jake Fromm starting at quarterback for this game, neither of which are good quarterbacks whatsoever in the NFL. We already know about Mike Glennon. We saw this guy up close for our Chicago Bears, you know, 4-5 years ago, and he's bad, okay? I don't understand how he's still in the NFL, and that Jake Fromm, you know, obviously, you know, former teammates with Justin Fields, but not a good NFL quarterback either, okay? His first game in the NFL, I believe it was last week, he did pretty poorly, and I mean, I don't think he has much of a shot at being a starter in this league. So you got 2 immobile stationary quarterbacks that are playing behind bad offensive lines with no running game, with receivers that have massively disappointed, even though they signed Kenny Galladay. You know, he has 0 touchdowns on the year. Darius Slayton has taken a step back. Their other guys haven't really done much of anything. So all in all, guys, this is a very bad Giants offense. Talking about the Giants defense, then, they have also been struggling this entire season. They rank number 23 in yards per game, number 21 in points allowed per game. They're the number 18 pass defense and number 26 run defense, and as you can see by the numbers, they lack any talent on the D-line. Okay, their D-line has been very soft this entire season, and teams have been able to just completely run all over them. You saw that last week against the Eagles. The Eagles were the number 2 rushing team in all, I think the number 1 rushing team in the entire NFL, and they put up 34 on this bad Giants run defense because they simply just ran all over them. Okay, they lack talent in the secondary, they lack good linebackers, so it's just not a good defense whatsoever, guys. Okay, at the beginning of the season, they were putting together a few good performances, but recently it has been pretty damn bad. Talking about the Bears, and I don't want to go in depth about our numbers because you guys already know them at this point, but I will say that at quarterback, we still don't know who's starting in this game as of the time I'm recording this video. It could either be Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, or maybe even Nick Foles. So we have virtually no clue who's starting at quarterback, but whoever it is, they're probably going to rely pretty heavily on the run game. The run game has worked for the Bears this entire season, even with how bad our offense has been. The one thing that always works for us is the run game because David Montgomery is one of the best backs in the NFL, and we also have a nice 1-2 punch with him and rookie Khalil Herbert. And we also got great run blocking up front. That's the one thing our offensive line actually has been pretty good at doing. It's the run blocking. So expect the Bears to run the football on defense. You know, we've been putting together some better performances as of late. Jalen Johnson, number one cornerback, is coming back for this game. Also Tashawn Gibson as well. So we're getting a little bit help back, but it's still been a kind of up and down defense. They have flashes of brilliance, but they also have flashes of being pretty bad. Instead of my 3 keys to Bears victory, I'm going to do my 3 players to watch for this game. And player number 1, guys, to watch is going to be rookie cornerback Thomas Graham Jr. This guy's been putting together some pretty good performances, in his first 2 games in the NFL. Obviously, last game going up against DK Metcalf, he allowed 1 reception, a 40-yard reception, which was pretty bad for a touchdown. He just got beat off the press, but that's also kind of a hard ask of him, right? Because Thomas Graham Jr. was way smaller than DK Metcalf. He was asked to cover him one-on-one, pressing him. That's not the easiest thing in the world. So aside from that, lost matchup, he practically balled out the rest of the game. Okay, only allowed 1 catch after that. And, the game before that, he allowed practically no catches at all. He has already 4 pass breakups, tied for second on this team behind Jalen Johnson. So I want to see what Thomas Graham Jr. can do. Can this guy really be a long-term solution for us at cornerback number 2 on the outside? It is possible, but we do have to see more. Now, going up against Mike Glennon or Jake Fromm, whoever it is, that's definitely going to be the worst quarterback he's went up against so far in the NFL. So hopefully he can get an interception, make the ball go the other way, and put out a show out there for the Soldier Field crowd. So number 1, Thomas Graham. Player to watch number 2 is obviously going to be Robert Quinn. Okay, this guy has 17 sacks right now. He needs 1 more to break Richard Dent's record of 17.5 sacks in 1 season. And going up against an immobile quarterback like Mike Glennon or Jake Fromm, there's a good % chance that that's going to happen. I mean, I hope that he gets multiple sacks and comes close to breaking Michael Strahan's record of, I think it's 22.5 or something like that, right? The all-time, ever most sacks in 1 season by 1 player. I think that's 22.5 by Michael Strahan. I'll have to double check. But if Robert Quinn can break that record, he could actually be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's already in the conversation, but getting the most sacks of all time, that would obviously help his case a lot. So hopefully Quinn gets a whole bunch of sacks. And then finally, player to watch number 3 is going to be rookie quarterback Justin Fields, if he plays. Still not sure if he's going to play or not. I hope he does, because these games are crucial for his development, just to get more reps, to get more playing time. But if Justin Fields does play, I want to see some more good things out of him, okay? I want to see more progression in terms of getting the ball out fast, in terms of making his reads, in terms of being accurate with the ball down the field. I think he's already been pretty accurate with the ball down the field. The only problem has been ball security and also, the short passing game, right? The short passing game has not really been utilized by Fields that much. He doesn't really take his checkdowns as much as he should, in my opinion. So those are some things to work on. And also, if he just makes some big plays in this game, some exciting plays to get the home crowd of Soldier Field excited, I would view that as a win for this game. And finally, it's time for my score prediction for this game. Who do I have winning this matchup? And guys, I have the Chicago Bears going into Soldier Field in the first game of 2022, beating the New York Giants by a score of 24-20, simply because the Giants have 2 really bad quarterbacks playing, and I feel like the Bears' talent on this team still is better than that of the Giants. Okay, I think whoever starts, Mike Glennon or Jake Fromm, they're not going to be good. And even though the Bears' defense has struggled at certain times, I feel like our pass rush can dominate in this game, okay? Going up against a bad O-line, going up against immobile quarterbacks, it's going to be a feast for hopefully Robert Quinn, for Travis Gibson, the backups we have as well, and hopefully our offense can do just enough to sneak out this victory. I don't think it's going to be a large margin of victory, because the Bears have not proven to be good enough to have a large margin of victory in either of their games, so it is going to be close. It's going to come down to the wire, but I feel like the Bears are going to pull this off to give the home crowd of Soldier Field at least 1 more win on this season, okay, on this bad 2021 season. As for my defense MVP of this game, I have that being Robert Quinn. I think he gets the sack record in this game. I think he gets 2 sacks to go up to 19 on the season, which would be a fantastic game for Robert Quinn. And for my offense MVP, I have that being David Montgomery, okay? The conditions are ripe for a run the football 25 plus times a game type of game, okay? I think that Monty is going to have over 100 yards, and he's going to dominate against this pretty bad Giants run defense. So there you have it, guys. I have the Chicago Bears winning this matchup. Let me know your thoughts down below, okay? What do you guys think is going to happen in this game? Who do you think is going to win, and so forth? Again, I hope all of you have a great New Year's Eve. If you're out there celebrating, be safe, have fun. Happy New Year's as well, okay, for watching this on New Year's Day. Hopefully 2022 is a great year for all of us, for the Bears as well. And I honestly think it will be, guys. Okay, I have a feeling that the Bears are finally going to make that hire that brings out the best in our team. I had that feeling last year in the quarterback department. I had the feeling that the Bears were going to pull off a crazy move at quarterback, and we did. We got Justin Fields, and now it's time to get the coach for him. Hope you guys have a good night, and as always, bear down.